Do you also think 5 minutes can't change anything? Can 5 minutes of shadow boxing drop your stress and spike cardio? You're probably wondering, will it gas you? Will it calm you? Will it burn fat? And will it wreck your shoulders? Let's find out. Before the timer starts, here's what would make this a complete waste of 5 minutes. If my heart rate barely moves, my stress stays the same, and I finish feeling exactly like I started. If the opposite happens, then 5 minutes might be doing more than most people think. What surprised me most wasn't how hard it felt. It was what happened after minute 3. I wasn't expecting that at all. By the end of this, I'm going to tell you the one thing that changed the most. First punch feels embarrassing, honestly. Shoulders stiff, feet confused, arms throwing what I can only describe as angry office worker punches fast arms. Zero body behind them. No power, no rhythm, just desperate movement. But here's the thing even that's enough to spike the pulse. The upper body can move at high speed with almost no space, and your heart has to react immediately. I can feel it within 30 seconds. That familiar thump starting to build behind the chest. I give myself one rule: to stop it turning into chaos. Every punch comes back to my face. Every single one. Chin slightly down. Exhale on the shot, because if I hold my breath, I'm just building tension, not burning it. That exhale is doing more than I thought. Shoulders stay down. Jaw stays loose. The breath is the anchor when everything else feels sloppy. 1 minute in, and my shoulders are already burning more than my lungs. I honestly wasn't expecting that. Most people think shadow boxing is cardio. Right now, it feels more like an endurance test. Minute 1 to 2, the cardio bite shows up. My lungs start grabbing for air. Not because the moves are complex, but because there's no real rest. The legs finally join the party too, even with quiet feet. Because staying in a stance and doing tiny pivots makes your calves and hips work isometrically. That mix is why it feels like HIIT without needing a treadmill. Your heart rate keeps surging, and then it has to recover in little micro-pauses when you reset your guard. That pattern matters for cardiovascular strength. You're teaching your system to ramp up quickly, then downshift, then ramp again. And over time, that usually shows up as better recovery between hard efforts. At the same time, exercise chemistry starts doing its thing. Endorphins rise, mood lifts, and because you're tracking your hands, your breathing, and your foot position, there's less room in your brain for inbox noise. Minutes 2 to 3 is where I hit the point most people quit. My shoulders are screaming, my punches are slowing down, and my brain is looking for excuses to stop. That's when something unexpected happens. I keep it simple, just jab, cross, loosen the grip. Shake the arms out for one breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, then back to work. Here's what I didn't expect. The harder it got physically, the quieter my head became. That's real training. Minutes 3 to 4, I add small head movements. Just enough to wake up the back and hips. Nothing crazy. Now here's the truth about fat loss. 5 minutes won't burn off a pizza, but it might be the reason you don't order the second one, because it can do something almost as valuable. Interrupt the stress and boredom that usually lead to unnecessary snacking later. Minutes 4 to 5, I'm breathing loud, sweating, standing tall instead of hunched over a screen. So, was 5 minutes enough? 1 minute after the timer, I still can't finish a sentence. Heart hasn't dropped. Jaw unclenched. The racing thoughts? Gone quiet. That's not placebo. That's your nervous system actually shifting gears. Here's the honest limit. This won't replace a full session. It won't burn off a bad week of eating, but it will interrupt the spiral, the stress that leads to the snack, the fatigue that leads to the skip day. 5 minutes won't change your life, but 5 minutes done right, done often, absolutely will. If that landed, try it 3 days this week. Pick your most chaotic time of day and drop it in the comments. I want to see what you're working around.